October of 1943, a new heavy tank was presented to the German dictator, who insisted on seeing the monster. During the final years of World War II, Germany poured its dwindling industrial might into a handful of so-called Wunderwaffe, or miracle weapons, intended to turn the tide of the war. Among the most iconic of these was the Panzerkampfwagen Tiger Ausführung B, better known as the Tiger II or the King Tiger. Massive, powerful, and clad in thick sloped armor, the Tiger II was one of the most formidable tanks ever built. Weighing nearly 70 tons, the Tiger II was the heaviest tank mass-produced by Germany. It mounted the long-barreled 88mm gun, capable of destroying any Allied tanks at extreme range. But these advantages came at a price. The Tiger II was the costliest German tank to produce, requiring vast quantities of rare minerals, precision components, and extensive man-hours. However, this battlefield colossus came with extraordinary costs, both financial and logistical, and faced immense production challenges, especially at its birthplace, the Henschel und Sohn in Kassel, Germany. The Tiger II's production story is inseparable from the Henschel und Sohn factory, one of Nazi Germany's most important and sophisticated armored vehicle production centers. Established in the 19th century as a manufacturer of locomotives and heavy industrial equipment, Henschel shifted much of its industrial capacity to military contracts during World War II. By the time the Tiger II was being developed, the Kassel plant had evolved into a sprawling, high-security complex dedicated to manufacture heavy tanks and their components. The factory featured multiple specialized assembly halls, machine shops, foundries, and test tracks. It had already been producing the Tiger I and was retooled in 1944 to handle the even more complex requirements of the Tiger II. The chassis, turret, and final assembly lines were located in different halls, with heavy cranes and gantry systems used to move the massive components between the production stages. At its peak, thousands of workers, including skilled technicians, engineers, conscripted laborers, and forced labor, were employed across the plant. Love diving deeper into military history? This video is supported by my YouTube members who get exclusive videos weekly, not available anywhere else for their kind support. You can join their ranks easily. Just hit the join button now to get the exclusive videos and much more. Thank you for supporting me. I couldn't be doing it without your help. If you want to know more about Germany's Panzer tactics, check out my ebook in the description. Because of its central role in producing Germany's most advanced heavy tanks, the Kassel plant became a top-tier target for the Allied strategic bombers. The Allies understood that crippling Henschel would severely disrupt the supply of armored vehicles to eastern and western fronts. From 1942 onwards, Kassel was subjected to increasingly frequent and destructive air raids, culminating in a massive bombing campaign in October of 1943, which destroyed large portions of the city, and inflicted heavy damage on the Henschel complex. Subsequent raids in 1944 and 1945 further disrupted the supply chains and destroyed critical infrastructure. These bombings caused production halts, forced relocation of components, and led to significant delays. At times, completed tanks could not be delivered due to destroyed rail lines or lack of fuel. The end result was that only about 489 Tiger II tanks were ever produced, far fewer than Germany's High Command had envisioned. Despite these setbacks, the Tiger II's chassis proved influential beyond the tank itself. It served as the basis for the Jagdtiger, the heaviest tank destroyer to see combat in the war. Featuring a 128mm Pak 44 gun, the Jagdtiger was even larger and heavier than its predecessor. It carried massive armor on a casemated superstructure and was also produced at the bomb-ravaged Henschel facility. However, unlike the Tiger II, the Jagdtiger was hampered by the same issues. It was slow, mechanically fragile, and increasingly impractical as Germany's war economy collapsed. Only around 70 Jagdtigers were built before the war ended. While the Tiger II may not have been produced in large enough numbers to change the course of the war, it left a lasting impression on tank design and warfare. Its imposing silhouette and unmatched firepower made it one of the most feared tanks on the battlefield. The story of its production at Henschel und Sohn in Kassel is as much about industrial resilience as it is about technological ambition. Struggling against time, resource scarcity, and relentless Allied air attacks, Henschel still managed to turn out hundreds of these steel giants. Today, the Tiger II remains a symbol of the high watermark and ultimate overreach of Germany's armored forces in World War II. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you want to support my channel, check out the PayPal donation link in the description or consider becoming a member. To make sure you don't miss my future work, subscribe to my channel please and press the bell notification button. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.